Yeah, we're going to ask you to sort of top line 2023 and all the various activities that have been going on over there. They're just absolutely phenomenal. Another extremely large agency, department, global activity. Give us the state of the state.
The state of the state. Well, thank you, Luke, for having me. And I'm honored to be on this panel with all these other truly amazing executives. And I'm sure you'll hear a lot of the same themes in terms of really focusing on people, and why we come to service every day is for our staff, for the teams, for the Department of Defense, it's for our warfighter. And so working to figure out, as a chief information officer, how do you harness technology, which is a critical enabler to everything that we do, but really maximizing its power so that your teams, your workforce are able to actually use the technology to be able to execute whatever their business outcome or mission is. So it's not that you're just pushing out technology for the sake of technology, but you're really refining those business processes to ensure that you're able to have continuous digital experience, and that it's seamless to the user. But in the back end, your CIO and the staffs are working tirelessly to make sure that seamlessness is happening. As we look inwards to the Department of Defense, we have an Office of Secretary of Defense. The Deputy Secretary of Defense is the component head for the Office of Secretary of Defense. And the Office of Secretary of Defense is made up of 17 principal staff assistants. And those are the political appointees. Think the Secretary of Acquisitions and Sustainment, Secretary of Research and Engineering. We have about 20,000 staff that make up and support the Secretary and the Deputy Secretary in this administration as we move forward to execute the National Defense Strategy. As we looked at OSD proper, there was no Chief Information Officer servicing that enterprise. And so therefore, the technology was incredibly subpar, and it was intentionally done that way because over time, when we did cost efficiencies and IT efficiencies, we treated technology as less than. And we accepted that we would have subpar technology in order to be able to scoop up whatever those savings are and apply them to other more what we're deeming mission critical efforts and activities. Over time, I think there's been a recognition of the value and importance of technology. And you really need to have a strategist, which is your CIO, to come up with a vision and then be able to build a community, your customer base, who you service, to be able to make it user-centric so that the user is in the heart of your strategy, that they're able to see themselves in that strategy. You're able to define the problem sets and collectively come up with solutions, and then advocate for the resources, do the implementation plans, have performance metrics to ensure that you're hitting the target, constantly having that user feedback, the accountability, and the transparency. To me, that's the essence of what a chief information officer brings to bear. And so that is what we've endeavored over the past year to do. And so we've done a lot of the foundational blocks to be able to establish governance structures so that we have a voice of the OSD, bringing those 17 PSAs that were individually behaving and acting and trying to fend for themselves together and cohesively see themselves as a community, to have that community of practice so that they can see themselves, be able to have a safe space to discuss their needs, their wants, their requirements, to be able to collectively prioritize the requirement, and then unified going after those precious resources to be able to go after those very important technology activities of network simplification, cloud adoption, standardization of your workspace, regardless of where your workspace is, whether you're a remote worker, home office, or actually physically here in the building. It shouldn't matter where you are. You should be able to have that instant connectivity and to be able to do the things that you need to do. And to do them well, safely, and securely. And so those are just a key things that we have done. I think the other thing that has been really important is establishing the user experience survey. So it's another opportunity for our users to be able to provide anonymous feedback And we're able to really kind of calibrate and see where we are, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and then through time be able to adjust accordingly. So it's this constant, continuous, what I'll call goodness, right? So you're able to set the priorities, you know your customer base, you're able to agree what the problem set is, the solution set, implement, and you're constantly making sure that you're doing it the way that it needs to be done. For the point of having that continuous digital experience for the people who we come to serve. So I'm really proud to be a part of this organization and the team that created the Office of the OSD CIO.